way more people should be aware of the dangers of eating a plant-based diet and the mental illness which will always follow. By default, if you eat naturally, it's impossible to avoid that, and of course a lot of other things. I'm going to use Eric Dubay as an example for this, because he's been making a lot of insane statements about people in the flat earth community. And I want to explain to you that he's not doing that on purpose, so to speak. It's not his fault, if there was such a thing. He was tricked by the government, just like a lot of people nowadays, to eat an anti-human diet. That's how he got to the point. He's not a disinformation agent or a Mason, as some people say. That's ridiculous, because they eat the opposite of what he does. They look healthy. They don't look like they are about to die. He claims that Mark Sargent, for example, is a disinformation agent and a shill. But when you listen to him, it's just a guy looking for the truth. Nothing at all indicates that. He talks in a sane way. He talks openly that he may be wrong about his beliefs. About the ceiling, for example. Whereas people like Eric talk as if they are always right and everybody else is wrong, and they understand everything. And that people are even against him, and that there's some conspiracy surrounding him. This godlike mentality is actually very common among people who starve themselves. This is what happens when hunger occurs. I studied it. Paranoia is what you are hearing and seeing there. It's only one of the stages. He also claims that the people from Globebusters scammed him for his money, and these lies at some point become absolute truth for him. They actually start believing it when they are ill. If you look at any pictures of him or videos, you must be blind not to see what's going on. He's skin and bones. He looks like he hasn't ate for a month, and I should know. When you look malnourished on the outside, this is health 101. Everybody who understands human bodies understands this. Then your organs are also malnourished. The brain, as I explained in the video about cholesterol, is made out of animal fat. So when you don't eat that, there is no way not to get mental illness. This is why elderly care homes are based on feeding them a plant-based diet, because that's what keeps them in the system. So there's no recovery. And because elderly people have already messed up organs nowadays, they are not able to create the cholesterol themselves anymore. And this is the same with vegans, because after a while of starvation, your glands and organs hardly work anymore. So if you don't eat any cholesterol, and that would be only from raw food, then there is no way to avoid it. Generally, if you start a vegan diet, then you must be most likely at least a little bit gullible to begin with. And once you get there and you are sure that what you're doing is right, may it be nutrition or something else which you were lied about, once you are so ill, you will believe everything that they say, and nobody is going to be able to convince you that you're wrong. It's the trap that everybody falls in. all that he does with this kind of behavior is divide the community even more. And that's the last thing we need. People who do not want to learn and accept that others have different beliefs. Nobody is claiming that they understand the absolute truth about the flat earth. Only mentally ill people think like that. In his video, The True Religion of Peace, I commented and explained everything wrong about vegetarianism. How it makes you into a vegetable, it's against humanity, and that it is a religion because people do follow it blindly. And all the nutrients that people are not getting. And people responded to me saying that they experienced these things with the diet and actually got sick from it. And of course, he deleted the comment because he does not want to learn. He does not want anybody to see that people don't do well on the diet. He lives in his own illusion, which he made for himself. In denial. Again, it's typical for somebody who is hungry. Typical signs. All that you do on a plant-based diet is starve yourself until you run out of nutrients. And there's a lot of cases of people who go to doctors who don't feel well, and they tell them, you have no vitamin D, the hormone, or B12 and so on, and they die from it. And because they are already deeply mentally ill at that point, they of course never realized that it was because of their diet, because they got brainwashed. What you do then is pull out all the nutrients from your tissue, your organs, until you run out, because being in the sunlight, for example, is useless on a plant-based diet because you need vitamin A to go along with it, and that's an animal vitamin. Or also, why do they all look so weak? Because you can eat as much protein as you want. There's missing animal amino acids, and again, vitamin A is required to absorb the protein. So you can eat as much of it as you want. You're never going to actually absorb it. Not to mention, it's very hard to absorb protein from plants. He talks about a lot of stuff that has been called by everybody disinformation, and he believes it. All this stuff around plant-based diets, which I'm going to get into in a second. Of course, none of the stuff which I already explained in the videos I made in the last months. Yet he still promotes it as if it's truth. 100% denial. Nobody could be on a diet for so long and actually believe it, except if they were, of course, on purpose spreading disinformation. Almost all animals eat other animals. And the reason I say almost is because, of course, I'm not informed about every single animal that's out there, but the ones I am informed about, and these are likely the ones you have heard about also, all the so-called herbivores do actually eat smaller animals. It's just that when we go through the brainwashing sessions of National Geographic, etc., we don't learn about how nature actually works, because they want us to believe in their man-made system and how it's supposed to work, apparently. There's also no such thing as carnivores, because even they eat berries occasionally. So even if the percentage of what you eat is 95% to 5, it still means that there's only omnivores. Of course, there's also some that eat 50-50. The point is, as I've said 1,000 times, it's a circle of life. It's inevitable. Herbivores have 60,000 times more digestive juices than us. That's why they are capable of eating all of those things which humans never would. Find me a human who eats branches, leaves, grass, flowers. Tell me that it tastes good to you. Tell me that it's an attractive food. Fuck off, you're a fucking liar if you say that. We have nothing at all to do with them. As I said in the video, Stop Torturing Your Body, we have the same digestive tract as dogs. It's clear what we are supposed to eat. There isn't even a question about it because there's no way to argue about it because it's not going to change because of your sounds that come out of your mouth, or likely because of what you type, because these are just a bunch of idiots behind their computer screen saying so. I'll get into that a bit more in a second, but what I want to talk about first are teeth and how supposedly it's showing what we are supposed to eat, which is something beyond stupid. Animals have claws and teeth to attack and defend themselves, not because of the food they are supposed to eat, at least not to such a degree that people are claiming, that's for sure, because raw meat, for example, is very soft. You would literally not even need teeth to eat it. And seeing as it's the easiest to digest food there is for a human, you could just swallow it in pieces. We have hands, we can cut it up even if we have no teeth. Even the so-called herbivores have sharp canine teeth. I have 4 sharp teeth. I can bite and eat with them easily, also as a weapon, but it doesn't mean that it shows what I'm supposed to eat, because wolves and tigers do not use the teeth to eat as such the meat because it's incredibly soft. You have no clue about raw meat if you say such things. They use these powerful jaw to bite open the rib cages, for example, when they bite into an animal, and we use our hands. It's as simple as that. They use their claws, we use our tools. How could a tiger without the hands and the brain be capable of creating tools? They can't, and they also would not be able to dress in clothes. That's why we don't have fur and such. You don't understand anything about humans at all if you make such ignorant claims. Ruminants, who spend about 15 hours a day eating usually, don't use their horns to attack animals who are their size, of course, because they are not agile enough. They, just like other animals, go for the weaker, smaller animals such as birds, rodents, and insects. But it's been proven, research it, there's pictures, videos, they do eat the carcass when it's around. They are opportunistic in that sense. And this is something you will not learn in the mainstream media, but even the official numbers say that most birds and fish eat other animals. Most toads do, and they don't have any teeth. So much for the teeth nonsense. Turtles don't have teeth and eat other animals. Chicken also. Most apes eat other animals. That's for the evolutionist idiots, because they claim that we have a similar body, and we don't at all. Our digestive tract has nothing to do with any ape. They eat quite a lot of leaves and such, and that's why their digestive tract is based in the colon. Ours is based in the small intestine, because we don't crave the same things and we are supposed to eat something else. That's why we find it disgusting to eat the things that they do. Gorillas have a huge back because they use it to take the bark of the trees, and they eat huge amounts of small animals such as beetles, worms, etc. Actually, in the zoo, people are just as ignorant as others, and they didn't feed them any meat, and the gorillas were infertile because of that. Yeah. Giraffes also eat a lot of small animals along with the plants that they eat, same as tons of the claimed herbivores. Elephants use their long noses to suck tons of kilograms of insects. There's also the case from India where an elephant ate humans. It was out of anger, but still, it says something. Why do raw animals taste so good? Why is the best thing I've ever ate a raw lobster? And it is so recommended. Why are all the necessary nutrients there and there's no other way to get them? There's no way to argue around this. All you can do is live in denial, and as I explained, if you eat a plant-based diet, then you are mentally ill anyway, so you will by default be in denial and get sick and die, and that's fine, of course, because if you're that stupid, you're supposed to by nature, because you were tricked, so you're weak. Even us humans taste good. I wouldn't know, but obviously a lot of animals eat us, and other humans have ate us also. That's been happening a lot even now, if you haven't heard about it. In nature, we can observe what other animals eat, right? That's pretty simple. And Weston Price proved that all the people who are not touched by the outside, the tribes, etc., they eat raw meat. Why? Because they like it. Of course. The only reason anybody eats a plant-based diet is because somebody told you to. And now you are where you are. 1 foot in the grave. Go with the program.